Right now on No More Down Low. Scared straight.
Don't be scared. Get out. Stand up.
From the basketball court to the barber shop, the simple mention of one thing causes some black men to run for the hills.
I'm Janore McDuffie. Why are African American heterosexual men missing in action in the fight against HIV and AIDS?
Either you're a part of the solution or you're a part of the problem.
Then, the Archbishop speaks out.
It's no longer okay for us to be called good singers and piano players, while people vote against our human rights.
From his glory days of disco through the devastation of the early AIDS epidemic, was he really born this way?
And I'm Mark Noble. Just what does Carl Beam reveal in his new autobiography?
No, I won't. Of course I don't get whipped.
Then, 227 star Jack A is talking trash for a worthy cause.
You know,
Jew.
I'm just letting it
We got to do something to make our community aware of AIDS.
Wake up, sister.
And in straight talk, our girl Walisa is on a soapbox.
Oh, your man don't want to wear condoms? Then he can't have sex with you.
Today we are at the Los Angeles Food Bank where 150 volunteers are rolling up their sleeves to help others in need.
And we are about to join them coming up on No More Down Low.
Everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of our show. Today we're actually going to take a look at a lot of issues surrounding HIV and AIDS and the black community. Helping me out today is a guest co-host who's actually no stranger at all to the No More Down Low family. It's Mark Noble.
It's good to be here, Janore. It's good to see
Welcome,
you.
yes.
And I think a little later on, you and I are going to help these folks fill out some food baskets for the underprivileged and those folks living with AIDS. And as we're on that subject, many of you do know that December the 1st is World AIDS Day, and noticeably absent in that fight, and in large numbers, are our straight brothers. So we ask the question, why?
We need to really look in the mirror and take it one step at a time.
They may be afraid that it means they have it, or that it may be a stigma of some kind.
See, we think anytime we talk about something that we equate with gayness, it makes us less manly.
Don't be scared. Get out. Stand up.
The gauntlet laid, the challenge presented, particularly in the battle against HIV and AIDS, a fight where MSM, short for men who have sex with men, and heterosexual women are in the fight of their lives. But there is a larger question: why straight African American men are largely MIA in the fight against the disease.
it is a part of black culture not to talk about certain things, not to really discuss sexuality. We have this whole notion of I don't want to get in anybody's business, that's their own stuff, and so that's not surprising to me at all.
And I think that a lot of times black men put themselves in that situation, saying, if that were me, I would act like this. Yet, in this case, they don't do that a lot.
Where is our compassion, America? Where's our compassion?
That was the topic of discussion at the recent Black AIDS Institute's 10th annual Heroes in the Struggle Gala in Hollywood.
We've not tried to engage black straight men. We've not developed programs for black straight men, and it's important for us to engage black straight men in this fight. We cannot afford for anyone to be a bystander. You know, there are no innocent bystanders in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Either you're a part of the solution or you're a part of the problem.
It is a gay disease, but it's a heterosexual disease. It's a children's disease. It's a woman's disease. This disease is affecting everybody.
Actor Blair Underwood, a straight married ally in the fight, is just one of Hollywood's celebrities to lead by example, taking the proactive approach in billboards, ads, and mobile testing units, even opening a clinic in the nation's capital for the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. His message, a very direct one, urging black men to man up.
So I figure if I have a platform in any way, or if I have a voice, if anybody will listen, then I'm going to speak to that.
And there are those too, like actor Flex Alexander, who joined in the fight after losing a loved one to the epidemic.
For me, it was important, especially after losing my brother. It was important to be educated and know about it and be tested and all that stuff. And so I do the public testing. I go out, speak to kids, and my wife and I. So it's very important, very important.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, 20% of the urban MSM in the United States are HIV positive. Yet, open discussion among straight black men isn't happening as fast as the disease is spreading within the African American community. There is a sense that brothers in the barbershops need to step up, and those on-court smack sessions need to become serious conversations in terms of starting the dialogue as HIV and AIDS continues to affect the urban population.
I recently just lost my aunt to HIV, AIDS, and so that's what made it very important to me, and it made me really take action, because it affected me and my loved ones. So I'm not only here doing this just for me, I'm doing it for family.
White gay men took care of their community and brought the numbers down. We need to somehow get that blueprint and say this is what we had to do in our community to bring the numbers down.
I would like to talk to all my straight brothers out there and ask more of you to be courageous enough to be involved, to stand up, to to fight.
Some of us go, oh man, if you speak out, that means something. It means nothing. All it means is you care.
Now, Phill Wilson also says that if we begin to shift the conversation from sexual identity, i.e. the down low myth, to more about sexual behavior and accountability, it's one of the many ways in which we can start to get our brothers involved. Now let's go check in with Janora.
All right, thanks so much, Mark. I did find somebody. I'm here with DJ. He is here volunteering with the organization Gay for Good. How you doing today?
I'm fine, how are you?
I am great. Now, why is it important for you to be here?
Well, I just think it's important to give back to the community. And I think it's important for the straight community to see gay people in a way outside of the parades and drag queens and so on and like that. So this is a way to just give back. And it's not so gay specific what we're doing. This helps everyone.
All right. Well, God bless you, DJ. Thank you for the work that you are doing and the organization. We're going to let you get back to the assembly line. I don't want anybody to get mad at me.
That's right.
Well, he gets back to that. We're going to get back to this. Now, getting people tested for HIV is definitely a challenge, but this organization found a very clever way to do that just using a deck of cards.
This is NoMoreDownLow.TV.
They were shuffling, dealing, bidding,
fellow, spades,
and trash talking.
Jackie got to learn, but she's doing pretty good. She's holding her own. She's not, I just let her get it, man.
What else would you expect at Trump AIDS, the Black AIDS Institute's National Bid Whiz Tournament?
You know I got it.
This year's celebrity co-chair was the big joker herself, 227 star Jackie.
I didn't make no Boston though, but won a couple of hands. A little money for the cause.
A little money for the big kitty? You see, for these whist lovers, it was about more than just stopping a Boston. They came out to cut the deck and write some checks to raise both money and awareness for HIV in the black community.
We got to do something to make our community aware of AIDS, because we seem to be dumb and blind, rather, to the cause. We seem to think it's not a black disease. It is. It's a disease that everybody can get and die from.
And if you think you could run these tables, think again. The rules are strict at each stop of the 13-city tour. For instance, all cards remain face down until completely dealt. There is no sporting the kitty, and a partition separates you from your partner until the bidding ends. And if that isn't enough, there is no card slamming. Forget about giving signals, and most of all, no trash talking.
The fact that people are coming out on a weekly basis to play bid whist and get tested and know their HIV and AIDS status is phenomenal.
I didn't very well in the tournament, but I'm leaving here with the wealth of information that I'm going to take back out, not just to my family, but to my community about this AIDS epidemic.
We are changing our culture, one city at a time and one deck at a time. We're trying to trump AIDS.
Trump AIDS! Since the tournament was so successful in getting over 600 people tested, the Black AIDS Institute has decided to hold another one spring 2011.
Now for details, log on to trumpaids.org.
You know, I would sign up, Mark, but I talk too much smack.
Which is probably why you just leave it for the folks you play cards.
You're right.
Coming up, Archbishop Carl Beam spills the beans from his no autobiography, I Was Born This Way.
And what is Walisa ranting about today? Stay tuned and find out. We'll be right back. Welcome back to No More Down Low. I am Janora McDuffie. We're here today at the LA Food Bank, just one of the many food banks across the country designed to help those in need. Let's check in and see what Mark Noble's up to. Mark?
Well, Janora, I found Stephen Gratwick, who is the co-founder of G for G, which is Gay for Good.
That's exactly what it is.
When you see, you have a lot of worker bees out here this morning.
We do.
What goes through your mind when you see folks in action?
You know, I think I'm really inspired that other gays and lesbians and some straight people got up early on a Saturday morning to come out and volunteer their time. They're not getting paid anything.
We're not going to let this opportunity pass. I'm going to let you get back to work.
Okay.
You have some more boxes to see.
All right.
Thanks, man. Good to see you.
Thank you for being here.
All right, my friend. Janora, we're done here. I'm going to turn it back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Mark. Now, the man that you are about to meet in this next story is a true living legend, a Renaissance man. Carl Bean has been crossing boundaries all of his life, and what I discovered in my exclusive interview with him is he was truly born to help others. See for yourself.
If ever they needed someone to testify to the buoyancy, the brilliance of Black America in tough times, I'm the dude.
Archbishop Carl Bean is no ordinary dude. From his glory days of disco
And so I wound up being signed to Motown.
to the devastation of the AIDS epidemic,
There was a time I was doing sometimes 4 or 5 funerals a day.
to his calling in the ministry.
Rev. I said, Rev. I said, yeah. We want a church service. I said, okay, God, you got it.
It's all chronicled in his extraordinary autobiography, I Was Born This Way.
So what made you feel like now was the time to write this book?
The offer to do my life story came to me from the publishers. And so when it came, I said, okay, it must be time, once again, for me to take a very public stance around HIV.
The Black church overwhelmingly voted against marriage for us.
Taking a stance has been Carl Bean's lifelong mission. He is the openly gay founder and pastor of Unity Fellowship Church and MAP, Minority AIDS Project of Los Angeles.
For instance, the epicenter in America is the capital, DC. But most people don't know that.
And most people don't remember the hysteria and fear during the early years of AIDS.
The Holy Spirit really was driving me, was pushing me, saying, do this, do something, basically do something. And so I said, okay, Lord, what?
Eventually, the answer became clear. He created a place of worship in Los Angeles where people with visible signs of AIDS could go when the other ministries turned them away.
And people would come through the ebony doors and just break down crying before they even could get to a seat.
Suddenly, the community relied on Carl Bean for the answers.
I remember once a lady calling me and she's saying, Reverend Bean, if I bring my boy home, will the rest of the family get sick? And I said, no, ma'am, he won't. They won't. And she said, that's all I need to know. And she just wanted someone who looked like her to tell us so she could believe it.
And through the tough years, it was those same people who had the answers for Carl Bean, fighting to keep the ministry alive.
I cannot say enough about Black women. I can't. It wouldn't have happened. It's been a wonderful journey. I've had to say goodbye too much. And my goal now is to help as many people as I can.
Carl Bean's Unity Fellowship Church continues to expand. They'll soon be starting a congregation in South Carolina.
Now, keeping our focus with HIV and AIDS, we unleash the secret weapon, Walisa, who's on her soapbox.
Today, she is ranting about Black women and safe sex in this edition of Straight Talk.
Sister, we got to do better. We have got to become the ambassadors for our own bodies, health, and our life. And anything or anybody that threatens the ambassadorship of you simply gotta go. It's time that we start taking responsibility for our own health and well-being. Sisters, we gotta do better. Let's talk about our bodies for a minute. There's this little invention called the latex condom, which solves a whole lot of problems, If black women were more proactive about the me factor, AIDS is the leading cause of death for black women between the ages of 25 and 34. And black women are getting HIV infection faster than anybody. Anybody. That was a good take, by the way. And oh, it's so easy to vilify our black men with yet another derogatory term and point the finger at the down low brother. Well, newsflash. Well, according to the Centers for Disease Control, that's a myth. No, the risk factors we need to be concerned with is having unprotected sex with multiple sex partners, especially if they're IV drug users. Wake up, sisters, wake up! Wake up, sisters. Look in the mirror and think about how we can take charge of our own health and happiness. Just make sure your man wears a condoms and watch the stash drop. You can even buy them yourself at a drugstore near you. Oh, your man don't want to wear condoms? Then he can't have sex with you. It's as simple as that. Protect yourself. Sisters, we gotta do better because when we don't protect ourselves, we get pregnant too. Thank you. 72% of black children are born out of wedlock. We are the largest population of baby mamas and baby daddies. Shoot, with our crazy drama, we keep Maury Povich on the air. We really need to step it up when it comes to family values. It is such a big concern that even the government is trying to get involved in promoting healthy marriages among black couples. There's actually a movement called No Wedding, No Womb. As black women, we need to redefine the rules of the game when it comes to dating, motherhood, and building families. There's even Black Marriage Day that celebrates marital bliss in the African American community. There's a reason why Beyonce sings Put a Ring on It. Oh. Okay, so I won't win a Grammy. So here's a reality check. 42% of black women have never been married, and that's cool too. Like me, hold out for Mr. Right, but don't settle for anything that's going to jeopardize your quality of life or your health. Live your life like it's golden. Golden! I'm out of here. Roll the credits.
All right now, Elisa, you tell them, girl.
Talk about a sister unleashed. Anyway, now, here's what's coming up on our next show.
On the next No More Down Low, don't ask, don't tell.
I was dating a woman at the time, and it was my first mature relationship. My roommates went into my Foot Locker, stole my letter, took that letter and turned it into my commanding officer. And I'm standing in front of his desk at attention, and he reads me my Miranda rights.
No More Down Low unlocks the mystery of why African American women are discharged under Don't Ask, Don't Tell more than any other ethnic group.
I represent the forgotten ones, the nameless and faceless women who are impacted the highest by the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy.
All of that and more on the next edition of No More Down Low. Now, Janora, I got to thank you for allowing me to join you here today, but I think it's time for us to go and help them fill up some boxes with goodies.
It's a good idea. Thank you so much for your company today as well.
All
right, so from the Los Angeles Food Bank, reminding you to spread love and not hate, I'm Janora McDuffie.
And I'm Mark Noble. Thank you for being with us. See you next time.
See you next time.